Tell you what though, boy oh boy. Oh man! The thrower blanket over them. But it's battle stations, white flag comes out. She's on for young and old, this one.
Has he got the job done? Looks like he has on the inside.
The pace is electric out in front.
Of course, we are broadcasting to the world through the Pits TV. We welcome all of those in who are watching the live stream, wherever it is you are around the world. Welcome to TWS Paradise Valley Speedway. To those who are here on the banks, we are in for a massive night of racing. Get your race program set between the mini stock races, and before we get into the race program proper, we have the grids. We will get to those to you, I promise, for the qualifying process tonight. So youth mini stocks on track, our opening race of the night as part of our support program, an 8-lap event for the youth. These kids here aged between 12 and 16. This is the orange group. The older kids, a little bit more experience, so they'll go a little bit quicker than some of those who are out there in the next one. And of course, we talk about a lot the mini stock drivers who go on to win big titles. The 240s hasn't been done though. Let's go racing. Green flag drops in this big youth mini stock field. We'll head off into the mountain turn for the very first time, and we do have a couple of visitors who are with us this weekend as well, which is good to see. A couple of the purple cars, 22 and 212, get themselves tangled up right on the first corner. Then in comes Hagen, the 25, and ends up getting spun around. So Marshall, the 15H car, takes the lead. A couple of the quick locals battling it out there for second spot in the 92 car. It is Fraser. We've got one all crossed up in the 28, as that causes a little bit of carnage at the end of the pit straight. They all managed to get themselves off the racetrack though. We've got one in the wall, the 99 car, and thumbs down on the concrete wall down the main straight as Marshall continues to lead from Fraser, so lights will go red. And they'll slowly bring themselves to a stop. Couple of cars there have missed it big time. A lot of cars have missed it big time. Look at this. Of course, as they head down into turn one, pretty hard to see those red lights. So the 99 will get the crash crew over there to the 99 car and get that removed off the track. First, got some issues down just over the start line. Something on the track, some debris down there. So that'll get picked up off track. And we will get set to go racing. We're only 2 laps into it. Marshall and Fraser had a big lead, and they have been gained under the red lights, of course. So Jaden Fraser in the 92 car sitting in second place. He's already picked up one win this season. Oh, a little bit quick off the start. He did pull it back though, and then gets the restart and gets to the lead. So 92 now leading 15. 43 Damon Pinkham looks around the outside. Pinkham with 6 wins to his credit. So one of the quickies here at Paradise Valley already this season. So keep an eye on the 43 car as he looks around the outside of Marshall in the 15H. 23 Caleb Ashton has moved up into 4th place. Ashton, who's done a wee bit of racing down in the South Island in the earlier part of this year over the last couple of weeks, turning some laps, and Nelson and also in Greymouth. So did Mitch Fabish in the 95. He's out there running in 6th place. So these two showing some good form after showing the South Islanders how it's done in the mini stocks over the last couple of weeks. Out front though, still 92 is your race leader. We've gone over half distance, coming up to the end of lap 5 now. Jaden Fraser in 92R, followed by the 43 of Damon Pinkham. But Fraser's opened out a nice little advantage now. He's sitting comfy up front. Then it's Pinkham, Marshall and Ashton, 43, 15 and 23 as the 15 car looks up the inside to move into second spot. Just forces the Pinkham car wide. Well, we got the 454 who's come to a stop right in the middle of the track down the pit straight. Now he's got it going again. Wow, that was a bit of a worry for the 454. On we go red. The lights did go red. That was right in front of and we're going to have more issues here. The 42. Full noise into the back of the 73. That was definite big miss. The officials have been over there. They've checked them all out. They appear to be okay. On the TWS replay, lights are red and a big hit coming in down there in front of the club rooms. As the leaders managed to avoid the stricken 454. But the referees had already made the call for the lights to go red. So we can see the 454 will leave the track. A little bit of touching going on down in turn 2 as well, with Terence Durrell 212 getting a couple of hits under the red as well. So 454, the second retiree of the race. It'll be white flag next time around for the race leader. Still the 92 of Jaden Fraser, who's ahead of the 15. Then 43, good start from Damon Pinkham in the 43 as the race leaders come up on another back marker. Around the outside of the number 28 they go. So it'll be white flag this time around here for the number 92. There it is. White flag out, 1 to go for the opening race of the night. Damon Pinkham in 43 has closed that gap up. Don't think he's going to quite be close enough to put on a serious challenge here for Fraser, who's looked pretty smooth throughout this race. And the 92 will swing it around onto the pit straight and pick up the opening win of the night. So 92 from 43 and 15, the way they come home in race 1 of the night here at TWS Paradise Valley Speedway World 240s weekend. So we're taking a look now at the youth mini stocks. This is the yellow group, the younger kids. We talk about the fact you can go racing in this youth mini stock class when you turn 12 years old. Right down the back, car number 88 of the inside row. That's my nephew, Cohen Wright. He turns 12 today. So he's out there for the very first time on the track. A lot of these drivers here, you can see them with the L plate. As they make their way around the track, you might notice the L plate on the back. So it's still only early in the season. So a lot of these drivers new to the class this year. Keep an eye on the 93 of Flynn Fraser. He has won 8 races so far this year from about 12 starts. So he is dominating this yellow group. So he starts down on the inside row near the front, and look at this, it's only going to take him maybe half a lap to get the bumper in front, and the 93 car will take the lead in the second race of the night. The youth mini stocks, yellow group, the younger kids, 12 to 16 year olds, and we have seen so many of these mini stock races over the years progressing through into the senior classes and winning championships. The 1NZ in the super stocks here tonight, Jason Long, former mini stock racer. He won the big mini stocks in Paradise event here at Paradise Valley a few years ago as well. So they certainly give the drivers a great insight into controlling race cars on the dirt. Flynn Fraser, 93, is your leader from the 15. Then we go 34, 18, and 118. The two Steiners are both there, the 18 and the 118. We see all these second generation racers who are out there. Obviously Flynn Fraser in the 93 is father Kyle Fraser, former New Zealand Superstock champion. Talk about the Steiners that are out there. We've got Joel Steiner in the 118. His dad, Bryce Steiner, in the Superstocks, former winner of this World 240s Championship, and he's out there tonight as well in the field, of course. So a lot of second, third generation racers in this youth mini stock class as Fraser continues to dominate. Half distance, 4 laps gone. Fastest car on the track though, the 15, the Lockheed car, just clocking a 20.8, sitting there in second spot as they make their way around the back marker, the 29. But Fraser, he's looking so smooth, isn't he, in the 93. So of course we had Jaden Fraser in the first heat of the night, picked up the win. This is the younger brother, so certainly runs in the blood. Could the two Fraser boys back up the wins in the opening 2 races of the night? Looking pretty good at the moment as the 2 leaders, 93 and 15, get right up and amongst a whole lot of the back markers now. Down onto the main straight they come, into the southern bend, looking around the outside. Quickest way past. They don't want to muck around too much, especially up front, because that gap will close fast. Here's the white flag, 1 to go for Fraser. We'll look around the outside of the number 21 Wilson car. Just eases off the gas a little bit. That gap's closed up. Now Fraser, foot down, round the outside into turn 3. And the 93 car will come across the line and take the win. First time, followed by the 15. They'll be your top two in race 2.
The St. Nicholas is a familiar sight around Bluff as she steams out to capture Can-Do Fishing's famous Bluff Kinner. Once caught, the Kinner is brought back to the purpose-built factory in Bluff where it is processed, packed and shipped fresh to you. But that's not all that Can-Do Fishing can do for you. Try some of their green-boned fish or delicious power products and you will soon see why seafood from the Bluff is world famous. So head to your local fish market or supermarket and ask for Can-Do Fishing Kinner, fish or power. Can-Do Fishing, there's nothing we can't do for you.
So what do? We supply hose and fittings and skill to get equipment up and running.
We're a one-stop shop, lubrication, fire suppression and hydraulics. The service that we provide, there's no other company that can do it and do it as well as we do.
We've got 8 branches in New Zealand, 70 distributors, 130 service technicians and vans. We're also in Australia, but within New Zealand we've been here a long time and we are the market leader.
Right, green flag drops, Youth Ministocks on the support program tonight, night 1 of the Technical Welding Service World 240s here at TWS Paradise Valley Speedway. We've got green group points, so we'll get into those soon. But let's take a look at what's happening out here in the youth class. The 23R car of Caleb Ashton, your early leader. Big group out here in this one. It was, the 454 gets some wheels off the ground, pointing skyward for a moment. So these two who are out the front here, Caleb Ashton in 23, Mitch Fabish in 95. This time last week, along with a whole lot of others, were in Nelson. Well, no racing on the Friday night. The racing was Saturday night, but they both were racing in Nelson on Saturday night. There was 4 or 5 of the North Island Ministock cars down racing in Greymouth last Tuesday, and then in Nelson on Saturday night. Some good racing too from the Ministocks, and these two here certainly showed them how to do it. In fact, the North Island cars were doing it really well. We've got a car down there with the bumper. Look, the whole bumper is almost off. Is that the 196 of Samuel Murray? Look, that is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
It's set up more like an oil drilling rig or something.
It is.
Drilling for oil at the centre of Paradise Valley.
I mean, and if they were trying to do something with weight distribution, you actually want it on the left-hand side,
yes,
not the right. Wow, back on track, 95, Mitch Fabish has taken the lead now. Last season here at Paradise Valley, he was the winningest mini-stock driver. He picked up 9 wins last season at Paradise Valley. So far, just a couple under his belt this season. So he's looking to put another one there now. 95, Mitch Fabish leading the 23 car of Caleb Ashton. Matt Corcoran in 61, and then Paige Alding. Oh, she just drifts a little bit wide in the 56 car. She's holding on to 4th place, though, ahead of the 46 car. Oh, a little bit crossed up down there, so we get a little bit of contact. So these are non-contact, although you've got to think there must have been a bit of contact involved with the way the bumper on the 196 has ended up. Still crazy. So 13 spins up, coming off turn 4. Out front, though, the 95 of Mitch Fabish gets the white flag. 1-2 go. Then we'll get into your points. Green group, so stand by for that one. Green group points coming at you as soon as the noise levels from the Youth Ministocks wind down. And the black and white checkered flag drops for Mitch Fabish. 95 takes the win ahead of 23. Caleb Ashton, Matt Corcoran, 61 in 3rd. Then we go 56 as they still come across the line. Will take a while for the ELS. 43, 56, 15 and 92. So how cool is this? Ladies only championship, and these drivers, so most of these ladies in this field now are regular drivers. Last year there were a lot of people who kind of borrowed cars and jumped into the championship, but most of these ladies out here now are regular drivers all around New Zealand. So they've come from Nelson, Greymouth, Gisborne, Stratford, and of course we've got a couple here from Great Britain. So those of you watching the live stream, once again, good morning to you. Hope you're enjoying our broadcast tonight from TWS Paradise Valley Speedway in Rotorua, New Zealand. The Māori word for New Zealand is Aotearoa. That's why we've got the Aotearoa Ladies Crown. The two representatives from the UK, 211 Phoebe Wayman, 262 Cami Durrell. Here we go. We are set for a start in the first of 6 heats for the Ladies Crown, and we are underway in a 12-lap race to get us started. Cami Durrell in the 262 stalls it off the line. Of course, over in the UK, they're not used to these standing start things. They do rolling starts over there across most of their classes. So Rebecca Barr, she is the one to beat us. The two girls from the UK come together and get tangled up and drop each other down towards the back of the field. Round goes the 73 car. So 34 is away. Rebecca Barr is your race leader. From the 121 of Shanae McNally, we've got one in Cami Durrell. She's come to a stop. The 70, sorry, not the 72. Normally is 72. The 262 in the concrete wall, coming off turn number 3. She was looking so quick as well in the practice. Out front though, 34. Rebecca Barr is still your race leader, followed by the 121 of Shanae McNally out of Greymouth. Now we'll go red. The 73 car of Kendall Ashton goes around again. Sitting around in front of the corporate boxes there in turn 4. Defending champion. So 3 races tonight, 3 races tomorrow night to decide this championship. Once again, 26 points for a win, 25 for second, 24 for third, and so on and so on. Most points after 6 races will be deemed the champion. And Rebecca Barr, she really did just clean up last year from memory. 5 wins out of the 6 races for Rebecca Barr. Alex Jones, the 28 car, got spun around as well early in the race. She was my pick. There we go. Shouldn't have put the pick on her. So just a few issues there, getting the car off the track. So apart from the 70, keep on going to say 72, normally runs as the 72 of Michael Rumney. It is the 262 car, gets towed off. The rest of the pack, as you see them sitting on the track, that is their running order. We are just 2 laps into it. Reds are out. We go green. So Rebecca Barr, 34, clocks up another lap as Kendall Ashton pulls to the infield in the 73. Well, I hope she's pulling to the infield. That was a shocking cut of the corner. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Eyes on the track, girl. So out front, Rebecca Barr continues to build a healthy lead over McNally, who's running pretty well. Gaskin, Ashley Gaskin Robertson is up there in 3rd. So they're chasing hard. Bit of a tangle coming off turn 4 with quite a few of them in there. Phoebe Wayman, 211 out of the UK. There she is, coming through the South Bend and onto the pit straight, but nearly a lap down on the race leader, Rebecca Barr, who really is just slicing through this field. Oh, got turned around there though. Kirsten Kaiser in the 681, spun her up. So there we go, she's not going to have it all her own way this time. So a new race leader, the 121 of Shanae McNally from Greymouth. Crosses the line, clocks up another lap, that is 7 gone. So McNally continues to lead. Oh, going to come across a stricken car there, that is the 296, I think, of Isabella Perrott, is it? And again, there's an exhaust fire, but the reds will go on, not for the fire. No need to overreact. It's for the place the car is stalled on the track, so safety reasons. The race goes red. We'll get that car off the track. So Kirsten Kaiser in 681 put the spin on Rebecca Barr as Barr looked to go around the outside of her. She's recovered all right though and had a big lead. So she's in about 4th place at the moment. So race leader sitting right there by the start-finish line is the 121 from Greymouth, Shanae McNally, who's your race leader. So it was Brittany Carpenter, another visitor from down in the South Island out of Greymouth, who put the spin on the stricken car over there, the 296 of Isabella Perrott.
Hi, I'm Scott Williamson, and welcome to X Factor Cars. Family owned and operated with 2 locations, Invercargill and Cromwell. Specialising in everything V8 from Holden Ford, HSV, FPV, and with Southland's biggest selection of American muscle, we've got most bases covered. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Get the X Factor.
All right, let's go back to the racing on track. Race leader, right on the start line there, 121, who was ahead of the 98 of Gaskin Robertson, who didn't get a very good start. In fact, a good start from Rebecca Barr, who's closed that gap right up again, so she's third. Now she's back up into second. Got a bit of gap to make up, though, on McNally, as Alex Jones goes to the infield. Some smoke from the 83 car out of Nelson, Morgan Dumoulin. So driving a good race, considering certainly not a regular visitor here in Rotorua, all the way from Greymouth. Sinead McNally and the 121 will clock up another lap. Bit of smoke coming from the 83, and yet that is coming out of the engine. Rebecca Barr makes her way past. So 121, then back to 34. Oh, big cruncher into the concrete for Brittany Carpenter. Along the pit straight, the 86 had a big crash along there. Keeps the race pace on, though. Does the young lady who just had her birthday last week. White flag out, 1 to go. And the 121 looking good. Round into the pit straight. And so Sinead McNally will take the win ahead of Rebecca Barr, 34. Ashley Gaskin Robertson will be there in third. So those are the stock cars for those who aren't regulars to the Speedway. Of course, there is the stock cars compared with the super stocks. We've been watching the super stocks for the World 240s, but these stock cars, a little bit less power, not the big V8s, and not all the flash racing gear on them. The chassis, bodywork, still the same. But one of New Zealand's biggest classes, the stock cars. The New Zealand Championships for these guys coming up in a couple of weeks or a month's time at Bay Park over in Tauranga.
Ministocks. It'll quieten things down for a couple of moments.
It will. So Ministocks, what are these things all about? Well, they've been around now for about 20 years in Speedway in New Zealand, and it's a youth class. So you can start racing them when you turn 12. And these kids we've got out here now, you can see a lot of them with the L plates on the back. So they're only just getting into the class. You can start the day you turn 12. But the day you turn 17, see you later. You can't race in this youth mini stock class anymore. So we've seen over the last 20 years so many drivers coming through the ranks from mini stocks and now excelling in the super stocks, in the stock cars, in saloons, super saloons, mini sprints, sprint cars.
Sprint cars, yes.
So these cars are all a standard design. The chassis is a set chassis design. All of the running gear from the engine to the axles to the drivetrain, the wheels, the struts, the suspension, all come from donor cars. Which are they've got a little 1200cc engine in them, a lot of them out of the old Datsuns. So, in theory, all of these cars should be relatively equal for the kids to learn to drive. But certainly, you know, there's some who still do a little bit of work on engines to just jazz them up a little bit. But overall, it should come down to driving skill and ability. Although setup certainly helps. You can see some of these kids who come into the youth mini stock class, and when they've got parents who race a super stock and have the knowledge and the know-how of how to set up a race car to make it go around a track nicely, that certainly does help. You know, we talk about the Fraser boys already out here. They've been dominating tonight with 2 wins, and again, here's Flynn out here leading this race now. You know, their dad, former New Zealand champion, and Kyle's brother Stace, you know, well renowned in setting up race cars, so obviously having a lot of input into the way that the kids' cars are set up. And there is a lot of these second generation racers out here, and they do come through the ranks now. I really do hate to think what the state of Speedway in New Zealand would be like if this mini stock class didn't evolve like it did those 2 decades or so ago.
I know when it burst on the scene, I mean, a lot of us, you know, the racing is not generally excitement, there's no noise, there's no glitz, there's no glamour. But once you start to follow some of these drivers and see the future, you know, it almost becomes a game then to pick the next star. You know, there's so many kids that come out of these and won Mini Stocks in Paradise, you know, the biggest mini stock meeting of the year that's held here at Paradise Valley each year, and gone on to become New Zealand champions, multiple New Zealand champions in various classes. So yeah, it's the best breeding ground that the Speedway's ever had in New Zealand by a long way. Of
course, when they did start, they were essentially mini stock cars. They did hit. They were allowed to, and that change. I'm trying to think how long it took for them to change that. It wasn't too long, was it? Because the kids were getting injured. You know, the bodies aren't built for the impact at 12 years old, and these, and obviously the steel on these, as far as the bumpers go, nowhere near as strong as the stock cars.
No, well, that's right. Yeah, the cars aren't built for it, and the bodies aren't ready for it, like you said, at 12 years old. And
or mentally, and think, you know, it's hard enough telling a 12-year-old kid to go out there and race a car. Look, and the thing is, none of these are automatics. You know, how many kids now at 15, white flag out by the way, how many kids now at 16 years old, when they go and sit their license, are driving a manual car on the road? The percentage would be so small. Yet out here, here's all these 12-year-old kids driving with an accelerator, brake and a clutch, having to change gear, go fast, on dirt, with other cars, you know, nice and close. It's just such an amazing breeding ground for these kids to learn how to drive.
Well, I still think one of the best mini stock stories for mine is Ben Finnemore, that came out of mini stocks at 15. He could have stayed in there for another year or two, went straight into the sprint car class, won the New Zealand Sprint Car Championship, wasn't allowed to drink, wasn't allowed to drive home because he wasn't old enough to get his licence, and had to hitch a ride home. So he just won the New Zealand Sprint Car Championship against all of our great sprint car champions, and he wasn't even allowed to drive home.
New Zealand's Super Stock champion Jason Long in that last heat. He raced the Mini Stocks, won the Mini Stocks in Paradise event here as well, which you hear us mention Mini Stocks in Paradise. There is no official New Zealand championship because it's supposed to be about fun. But here at the Rotorua Stockcar Club, we organise the Mini Stocks in Paradise event, and that attracts about 200 cars each and every year.
Hi, Malcolm Nardai from Suck It Up. We specialise in hydro excavation in the Canterbury region, safe dig methods around services. Also, we do septic tank cleaning, drain cleaning, CCTV over your pipes. If you want an excellent service, please check us out on Facebook.
Suck It Up Limited, 740 Marston Road, Christchurch. Call them 24 hours a day on 027 588 8809.
Everyone is looking for a little edge. Our local business tech experts come to you to help you find yours. Spark. Little can be huge.
Drop in and see the team at Spark Business Southland at 239 D Street in Invercargill, or call them on 0800 784 482, or Spark Business Canterbury Hub at 392B Russley Road, Christchurch. Call them on 0800 246 027.
The Redwood Butchery Aotearoa Ladies Crown Heat number 2. Race 1 winner, 121 GM, Shanae McNally, starting on grid 13. Pole position for this one is Isabella Perrott out of Stratford. Outside her, Kendall Ashton from Rotorua. The green flag drops and we're underway. Remember, it's a 6-race series this. 3 tonight, 3 tomorrow night. Looks to be some problems for Desiree Craig in the number 10. No, she's underway now and moving 3 wide down the main straight. We've got a cross up, we've got a big tangle up down there, and that included Heat 1 winner. But she's got through there now, has Shanae. So Carol Pajerski is down there. I also think it's the Morgan Dumelo car from Nelson, the number 83. She hasn't refired, so the lights will go red.
Carol Pajerski too was the biggest mover in Heat 1. Just having a look at those, grid 17 up to 6th. So all that good work in Heat 1's just been undone on the first lap of Heat 2.
Yeah, because she started grid 7 and now look, she's dropped right to the back of the field.
So over 6 heats, of course, it's a little bit different to normal.
You've got a bit more leeway, don't you?
You can afford a bad one.
So, the Aotearoa Ladies Crown, they're just getting a little bit of a problem there with the race winner, is it? Sorry, the car over there of Morgan Dumelo. Just seeing what may have happened to her.
Yeah, certainly quite a tangle, wasn't there? We're getting a replay here.
In the TWS replay, she got a little bit tangled up, got a tap on the back of the car, and she was still tangled up there with Pajerski. Didn't look to have too many... Oh, there we go. She did get... Yeah, no, she did get a couple of big hits towards the end. But the crash crew still just working carefully to get her off.
So the other big mover in Heat 1, other than Carol Pajerski, said went from grid 17 to 6th place, so up 11 in Heat 1.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, the other big mover in that first heat was 52B, Dominique O'Brien from grid 15 to 5th, up 10 spots, and she's sitting in current lead.
Yes. All right, so thoughts with Morgan Dumelo right now. We'll bring you any updates if we can. It is the Redwood Butchery Aotearoa Ladies Crown. The field just into lap number 2 of Heat 2 of 6. We're at TWS Paradise Valley Speedway. Hope you are enjoying your night, ladies and gentlemen. The fan van will be open at the end of the night. On your way out the main gate, stop and see the girls there and see what you might want to buy from the fan van. Right from the start, it is, still Dominique O'Brien, who is your race leader. There was a good start there from Isabella Perrott, but then she's done something to the car and she's pulled off to the infield. She got a wicked start. But then obviously some major damage. Now I don't know whether the officials will be happy with the car sitting there. So unless she gets it refired. Oh no, she's underway again now. Good to see. All right, out front still Dominique O'Brien, 52, leading 34 and 73. So once again, Rebecca Barr from grid 11, and look at this. She's going to get to the lead here pretty quickly, you would imagine. Once again, showing her dominance. Kendall Ashton now. She had a little bit of a horror run in that opening heat. And she's got it sorted now, though, running up there in 3rd place. So Rebecca Barr, the leader from Dominique O'Brien. So we saw Rebecca Barr in that opening heat from pole position, end up finishing 2nd, but it was only because she got attacked mid-race and spun her and dropped her down to about 4th place. So she is definitely showing she is going to be the one to beat again this year in this Aotearoa Ladies Crown, the 34 car. Meantime, 73, Kendall Ashton, and 52, Dominique O'Brien are having a battle. Kristen Kaiser, 681, and Gemma Palmer, 14. Brittany Carpenter, 85, are battling for some of the minor spots there as well. So they've come from near and far to be a part of this essentially an unofficial New Zealand Ladies Stock Car Championship. It is the Aotearoa Ladies Crown as Kirsten Kaiser and Brittany Carpenter haven't come in together. Of course, Brittany, we talk about the Ministocks. Oh, Lynn Clark gets collected. Then one route wide, one down low. The number 37 car. And now getting involved here with this Kaiser, Carpenter and Wayneman battle. Brittany Carpenter in the 85 tank out of Greymouth. Right behind her, the 211 GB, Phoebe Wayneman. Of course, she races the F1 stock cars in the UK. One of a couple of women drivers in the top class over there. So Kendall Ashton, the 73, clearly up in second spot now. She's put a bit of space between herself and Dominique O'Brien. So 73 is running in second spot, but 34, your race leader. Gets the white flag, Rebecca Barr. And looks as though she will cruise to a victory here. Oh, Alex Jones has got some problems down on the infield coming off turn number 2. Is that Gemma Palmer that slowed right down on the straight there? I think it is. So a problem for Gemma Palmer. She was running up in about 4th spot, and the cars come to a stop as they all slow down now on the slow down lap. Checkered flag out. Rebecca Barr, 34P, will take the win ahead of Kendall Ashton. Dominique O'Brien, 52B in 3rd. Then we go to the 21H. Brooke Clarkson is 4th. 681 Kirsten Kaiser rounds out the top 5. We then go 211 Phoebe Wayman, 85 GB Brittany Carpenter, 262 Cami Durrell, 9S Carol Pajerski, and in 10th place 98W Ashley Gaskin Robertson.
Situated just 1.5 hours drive from Christchurch is Hanmer Springs, a small alpine village that has everything for the adventurer or for someone looking to relax. Stay a while and enjoy a bike ride through the numerous bush tracks, or relax in the famous hot pools. Take the whole family and let the kids take on the many attractions on offer. And to top off your stay, book now with Hanmer Holiday Homes, where there's a budget and accommodation to suit everyone. Call now.
Build it, make it, fix it, shift it, tow it, stow it, dig it, lift it, mow it, trim it, grind it, chip it. We hire it. Mix it, pour it, smooth it, finish it, saw it, clean it, nail it, polish it. 0800 24/7 rent. We hire it. 0800 24/7 rent. We hire it.
She was an interesting race. So,
yes.
of course, if you are leaving our website, we will get all of that official information up there as soon as it is available as well. Right, green flag. We're underway. Youth Ministocks. This is the orange group, the older kids. So their third race of the night for these guys. They have 3. The younger kids have a couple. Although sometimes some of the younger kids do tend to tag themselves onto the back end of this one. So we've got 2 cars. Are they locked together?
I
they
think
must
they
be.
are. Looks like it.
Yeah.
That's something you don't often see in Ministocks.
No. So your Ministocks, and then of course we've got Heat 3 for the Redwood Butchery Aotearoa Ladies Crown.
Yeah, just having a look at that at the moment, if we can find the right piece of paper. Rebecca Barr, no surprises, the first and the second, leading on 51 points. Second equal got the 21H Brooke Clarkson, 46 points, also equal with 52B Dominic O'Brien. So they're 5 points behind Rebecca Barr at this stage, and then there's a whole heap of them in behind. We've got 1 and 4th, a couple 5th, 3 7th equal, so really tight go for second anyway. Yeah, they had a good track for the first night and some spectacular qualifying action. Unfortunately, the second night, it didn't quite live up to what everybody was hoping for, but yeah, the Cowlings first and second, so certainly a family once again. We talk about these families with past champions and new champions, and both Chris and Steve had previously won New Zealand Saloon Car Championships, and their father, Morris, won a New Zealand Super Saloon Championship and a New Zealand Midget Championship, and now they ran 1-2 in the New Zealand Super Saloon Champs this year. So that family thing, like we've been talking with the Joplins and Myers and Reeses, and yeah, it just goes on, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. Yeah, you mentioned the Myers family. Of course, Jack Myers is the new star in the Myers family, so to speak, but Dad Scott back behind the wheel this weekend at the World 240s in the Jake Baker car. Of course, no sign of Jack this season after doing himself a bit of a mountain bike injury during the winter months. One of a handful of drivers actually who are missing big chunks of this season thanks to bloody mountain bikes.
And that's not the first time Jack's...
he had a big motocross one where he broke both of his legs.
Broke both legs, yes. So,
we were in Palmerston North for the New Zealand Speedway Awards when that happened, and he ended up in Rotorua Hospital.
Yes,
yeah.
Now I remember.
Yeah. Oh, we got car round in turn 2, and
head on.
Another car comes heading. Is that Mitch Fabish? No, Mitch is still cruising nicely. Red lights are on. Oh, some of those cars real slow to slow down here.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think they counted way past 5.
Way past the 5 there. We're all jealous of you right now, Barry Brown. We'll have to talk about that tomorrow night. So we may or may not hear from Barry Brown again tonight. The lights are out. We're set to go back racing with the youth Ministocks. As we look for a race leader. Is it Mitch Fabish still? He makes his way round through turn number 3 and 4, the south bend. Onto the pit straight he comes. Blocks up another lap in the quick number 95. So the older kids, part of the support program tonight. Tomorrow night, support program wise, we're lining up the Bay of Plenty Saloon Championships for you, and also tomorrow night we've got some super stock teams racing. Stock car teams racing tomorrow night on the program as well. So it's a great weekend of racing. Youth Ministocks. Some people say, "Oh, why put them on at a premier meeting?" Well, we got them here on qualifying night. What a great buzz for these kids to be on the track in front of a massive crowd like this on a massive weekend that is the World 240s, proudly presented by TWS, Technical Welding Services, and the Rotorua Stockcar Club.
After the devastating Christchurch earthquakes, there has always been one name you can rely on when it comes to scaffolding in Canterbury. Elliott Scaffolding have a purpose-built fleet of vehicles and a fully trained crew that can get the job done. from that small project to the bigger ones and some of the unique ones. Phone now and speak to Trevor and the team at Elliott Scaffolding Christchurch.
Right, here we go. Heat number 3 of 6 for the Redwood Butchery Aotearoa Ladies Crown. Heat number 3. And the green flag drops Lynn Clark off pole. A couple big punches going in there as Brittany Carpenter tries to charge her way through. Lynn Clark's going to get turned around in the number 37 as they head down the main straight for the first time. She's backwards into the concrete wall. The rest of the field managed to avoid her. Can she get it fired up and out of there before the rest of them come charging round in about 5 seconds? 4, 3, 2, 1, no. No, they can't. So our finals field for this year's World 240s really taking shape now. What a night it's going to be tomorrow night. Remember, race 1 will be the repechage. So the next highest drivers that miss out on automatic qualification, they go into the repechage race, and first, second and third in that race will advance to the finals. All right, so that is the first race. A lot on the line in that 112 lap race tomorrow night. What a way to kick off the night. Red lights are out, wait for the green. Let's go once again. Lap 2 for the race leaders. And it is Ashley Gaskin-Robertson who's the race leader. Cammy Durrell from Great Britain sits in second spot in the 2.62. Then Phoebe Wainman, also from the UK, in third in 2.11. Carol Pajewski in 9S with a few issues, so she drops again back down towards the back. Durrell to the lead. Does she? No. It's Gaskin-Robertson just holds on around the outside, the Wellington racer. So, of course, not a good night at the office for her dad tonight, the Superstocks. She's holding her own here, though, in second as Wainman just gets it a little bit wrong and drops off a wee bit. Alex Jones has gone around. Heat 1 winner spins up as well. Shanae McNally. So looking for Rebecca Barr, 34, as she charges her way through. She comes down onto the pit straight now and gets past Kaiser. Now she's on the back bumper of Wainman. So Cammy Durrell from the UK back in front as Rebecca Barr and Phoebe Wainman have a little bit of a coming together there. Wainman trying to slow the pace of the defending champion. No slowing the 2.62. Ahead of the 98W in second spot. Dominique O'Brien, 52 from Hawke's Bay, is next. Oh, a little half spin there for Kirsten Kaiser. While she was up there running in fourth place. Oh, the race leader, Cammy Durrell, has spun it around. So she's going to drop back a lot now. Disappointing for the race leader. Good news, though, for this car heading in through turn 3 and 4 out of Wellington. Ashley Gaskin-Robertson. Heat 1 started on grid 3, went up to 3rd. Race 2 started on 19th and ended up in 10th spot. So she's made some good gains through the course of the night and sits in the lead for this one. Can she hold off the pace, though, of Rebecca Barr? In the 34, she is now up into second spot, Rebecca Barr. With still another 3 laps to go. This is lap 9 of 12. Usually make that 4 laps to go. There's Rebecca Barr. She's just showing some good pace right now. That 34, she's got it flying. couple of the tanks there come together. Look, there's 3 of them there, including our race leader. They've all got to run a little bit wide to avoid the car down there. I think it's the Brooke Clarkson car. Lights are red. Lights are red. All right, yeah, because they were up there heading into, well, certainly Rees and Joblin were into that last heat. We are back racing with the Theodore Ladies Crown. So the race leader, Rebecca Barr's just been taken to the wall. Alex Jones takes her to the wall, and Rebecca Barr comes back at her and tries to put the bumper in there as well. So Barr's gone and got away, but this has given Gaskin Robertson a little bit of breathing space. Oh, the checkered flag's out. So Ashley Gaskin Robertson will take the win.
No friends out there in the ladies, is there?
No.
Just saying.
Yeah, they're mixing it up. So Brooke Clarkson ends up in second. Cami Durrell in third. 34p Rebecca Barr ended up in 4th place. And then the 9B of Stacey Smith wraps up the top 5